So hey guys, welcome to another night ride on the e-bike. So tonight we're just gonna go have some fun. We're gonna go down some dark unlit path, just to have some fun. So I'll see you when we get to the first actual section of path. So not a lot of wind, flat to slight downhill. We're going like 35 to 36 k an hour, which is a very nice speed. And once you start going faster than say 35, 36 k an hour and you're going downhill, it's actually quicker if you actually let off the throttle and just let the bike glide, because it has enough, combined with me, I guess, in the weight of the unit itself, it has enough weight that it continues to accelerate downhill. No power going to the rear wheel. Gravity is your friend scenario. All right. Our first section, unlit path. We'll plunge into the darkness shortly. No purpose to this ride other than having fun. So yeah, what else I could talk about? I was going to pick up a second electric vehicle, and I was going to do it in the next couple of weeks, but I think I'm going to hold off. I was going to buy an electric kick scooter, because those things look super cool. Be super handy to use around the neighborhood, potentially even more handy than this bike, because I could bring it inside a store with me. So I was looking at, there's kind of called Magnum Bikes that makes the 1S or the S1 electric kick scooter. So it has a 500 watt motor with 48, I think it's a 48 volt, I think it's like a 9 or 10 amp hour battery, lithium battery. But the scooter only weighs 40 pounds, so that's a lot of battery and then a lot of power for something that weighs so little. But I decided, well, I'm a little bit nervous about the legality of it. Like, it's kind of in legal limbo, because I've kind of been trying to find information from city bylaws and stuff, but I think, and because of the wheel size, it's classified as a toy. So you could theoretically use it on a sidewalk, but you wouldn't be able to use it in a bike lane. It's questionable if you'd be allowed to use it on a multi-use path like this. So kind of held off because they're, I mean, pretty pricey, but they are a legitimate commuting tool. The one I was looking at, I mean, it goes 32 k an hour, so as fast as this e-bike, and it's a kick scooter. On a kick scooter, I think those kinds of speeds would feel literally scary, or the other way you could look at it is thrilling, enthralling speeds. So I'm gonna hold off initially, have fun with this thing. But I really do want to get one of those electric kick scooters. I'm just worried about getting dinged by the fuzz using it. Like the side streets around my house, they don't have sidewalks, so I'd have to use them on the street, which would I guess theoretically be illegal, but only if you get caught, obviously. we have a section of unlit path that we're trying to get to on this piece of property. Then we have another really cool longer section. Well, it's only maybe 2K long, but there actually aren't that many sections of unlit path anymore in the area. Okay, here's the section of unlit path. So on my ride to work by regular bicycle, I mean this section is actually the main reason I have lights, a nice set of lights, is because it's high speed by bicycle standards. It's the, you know, on a good morning, you're not dealing with a headwind. It's like a 40 to 45 kilometer an hour downhill with a sweeping left corner, blind corner that you can't see if someone's coming the other way. And in the morning, in the dark, you'll deal with a lot of people walking to school here, the university property. So yeah, they spring into view suddenly, and hopefully they're on the correct side of the trail. So this is probably going to be the longest continuous ride I've done on this thing. So I've had it for a week and a couple days, so I've got 140 kilometers on it now as I just look down at the odometer. Okay, we're crossing underneath Harbour Expressway. I'm going to do another video for this bike, a shorter video showing the bike and showing its features. I know my intro video, first impressions video, is kind of long. It's like 19 minutes long. I'll try and do something that's maybe 3-4 minutes long. But in a week, I think it's at like 140 views. So there are people out there looking for info on e-bikes, and probably this particular bike in particular because it's so cool looking. They definitely got the visual appearance of this bike down pat. Good times, good times. Oh, we almost wiped out there gravel that I couldn't see. Nothing like sliding on two wheels. All right, so this is unlit path beside a road, but this isn't the piece that we want to get to. So far we've done 10.4 kilometers. Our average speed has been 32.6 k an hour. Brakes are still squealing, but I think they're actually squealing a little bit less than they were. So maybe they'll eventually stop squealing, but someone suggested that I buy automotive brake cleaner and just spray it inside. So, you know what, I think the guy, basically the guy that works at the e-bike place told me that the initial juice from the battery, the top part of the charge, is gonna give you the most power, and I think that's true, because initially the first 10-15 minutes of the ride we were doing like 34, 35, 36 k an hour, and now we're on similar terrain, but now we're dropping to like 32, 33 k an hour. So I think maybe it's true that the initial top of the charge is where you're going to get the best performance. Oh, we got a chicane coming up here. Got a chicane. bridge, little underpass here. Fun, slightly scary speed. Gone 13 kilometers. Average speed is still 32.6k. We've been out for 23 minutes. It's 11:29 p.m. Back into the darkness. This isn't the section quite yet. We got a really fun section. Well, cornering at 32k an hour in the dark is thrilling, enthralling. Hopefully there's no gravel. I haven't been down here since the rain, so I don't know what the gravel scenario is. Okay, we're maybe 100 meters from the fun section. Yeah, buddy. That was my foot dragging on the ground. Yeah, this isn't a hill climbing bike at all. Up a small rise there, we slowed down to 27k an hour. Now we go under the Trans-Canada Highway. Got another slightly steep up roll. What do we slow down to here? 25k an hour we slowed down to. Which is probably still faster than someone would ride a bike up at, say, zone 1 endurance heart rate. Oh, skunk. Did you guys see the skunk? Alright, we're almost at the end of this path and we're going to turn around and head home. But we still have to go down this piece of path again, so that'll be fun. Alright, back from whence we came. Hopefully the skunk doesn't give us issues. Slowed down to 23k an hour going up that hill. So Emmo Urban S, not a hill climbing machine. Doesn't have the voltage or the peak battery performance or peak engine motor performance. If you live someplace flat with just rolling hills, it'll do the job. Don't buy a Emmo Urban S if you live in a very hilly area. Okay, another hill. How much are we going to slow down? 26k an hour. We slowed down on that one. Not horrible. Tons of fun. If you have an e-scooter and you have unlit trails, I highly recommend you have some fun on them. Is that electric? I think that was an electric skateboard we went past there. Oh, what the heck happened here? But somebody spilled something. Okay, we got the chicane coming up shortly. Chicane action coming up. The chicane, the chicane, the chicane. Yeah. So our average speed has dropped from 32.6 to 32.3. So negligible drop. But I guess half a kilometer an hour would be meaningful, maybe. I don't know. But now we're heading home. It's fun riding this thing at night in the dark trails because definitely feels like you're going faster than you actually are. Underneath the Harbour Expressway. Alright, so now basically it's pretty much mostly gradual uphill on the way home, so that should have a detrimental effect on our average speed. But it's pretty gradual most of the time, so it shouldn't be horrible. Alright, so now we're going to go into some uphill Unlit Path. Initially there's a downhill drop in. The fun sweeping corner. Eee-ee. So there's a Strava segment on this section of path. I think it's about 700 meters long. And not to boast, but I have the KOM on it, and I want to try and raise it. It's at, I think, 1 minute exactly, and I'd like to get it down under 1 minute, which would raise the average speed to, I think, like 42k an hour. What is mostly an uphill section. and then it gets, the hardest part is the last little bit. So it's pretty painful, because once you get to this section, you're already hurting, because it's an absolute all-out effort, 1 minute all-out effort. So your legs are burning, and then the absolute hardest part is the last few seconds. So, and probably those last few seconds are where you're going to make the difference. So I'm going to go back to doing some shorter intervals. It's a fun little scooter. I don't know why people laugh at these things. They're fun. Two wheels is always more enjoyable than four. That's basically the crux of it. I got cargo pants on, and I got my phone in the cargo pocket, but because you sit on this thing like you're on, basically keeping your pedals level, I'm worried the phone's gonna fall out of the pocket. So once we get to the top of this hill, I'm gonna switch it to a zipper pocket on this jacket. So this is a steep little overpass hill. We are maintaining 26k an hour, which is pretty good. We're gonna come to a stop, and I'm gonna just put my phone into pocket on this jacket. Sometimes 32k an hour feels good. Other times I'm like, you know what? E-bikes need to be faster. I guess it depends on the terrain. 35, 36k an hour, in my opinion, would be a good speed. It's not scary for people that don't like to go fast, but it's quick. City traffic, stop and go traffic, it will not be much slower than a car. Right, so we've gone 23.3 kilometers. So our average speed has now dropped below 32k an hour. We're at 31.8. So we're gonna go through another section of the first section of Dark Path we went through, but now we're gonna go uphill through it as opposed to downhill. So this charge gauge, I don't know how accurate it is or how it works, but we've basically only lost 1 bar. We've only gone down 1 bar at 23.7k now. I lost that bar a little while ago. So yeah, flat terrain on this thing, probably 60-70k, maybe more if you're not heavy. Now we got some windy fun bits, twisty fun bits. I slightly lost a little bit of my nerve with that almost wipeout on the gravel. So sorry to disappoint you guys. Wish we had more trail like this, unlit trail, but what I'm showing you is the most of it. We have Boulevard Lake that I take you guys around, but it's all lit now. And because it's lit, you'll have people walking at strange hours of the night. There'll be people walking there. I was pretty confident we wouldn't see anybody on this section, which we have not. All right, that's it for Path. Heading home on the streets. So I'll talk to you when we get home. I'll give you the final statistics of our ride. So 28.1 kilometers, 53 minutes, 43 seconds. We're still averaging 31.4 k an hour. So I think what we're experiencing tonight is the lack of wind. So lack of wind definitely improves the performance of this thing. All right, so that trip took us 56 minutes 40 seconds. It's a distance of 29.6 kilometers, average speed of 31.3 kilometers an hour. We're gonna go look at our maximum speed. Maximum of 39.3 k an hour. So yeah, I've definitely noticed that faster downhills actually just let off the throttle and allow gravity to assist you, because if you have current going to the rear wheel, it will torque cog or cog torque. We did 156 meters of vertical, so that average speed of 31.3 is pretty good considering there was about 5 kilometers worth of gradual uphill. So as long as it's gradual, this bike does all right. But the steeper stuff, this bike does not like. So yeah, thanks for watching. That was just a blast purely for fun. See ya.